What do you get when McLaren dominates, Ferrari fumbles twice, and Lewis Hamilton, well, basically sands the floor off his car? You get the 2025 Chinese Grand Prix. This weekend in Formula 1 gave us drama, gave us strategy, and some seriously, did that just happen moments? Let's break it down. Welcome back to Track Limits. My name is John, the motorsport enthusiast, and this is the show where I break everything down from the race so you don't have to read any articles or watch any videos like it's a bedtime story. Today, we're going to recap the Chinese Grand Prix in Shanghai, home of long straights, brutal braking zones, and now one of the most crazy and critical post-race scrutineering we've probably seen in recent years. This race took place at 3 a.m. Eastern Time, 2 a.m. Central Time. Simply lovely, isn't it?
That was simply lovely.
Did I watch it live? No way. I hiked 15 miles the day before, and I had to drive 3 hours home. I might be an enthusiast, but I'm not stupid.
I am stupid.
Let's dive into the race. Lights went out, and it was all Oscar Piastri. Oscar Piastri nailed his launch from the start, and his McLaren teammate Lando Norris followed suit in P2. But behind them, absolute chaos. Ferrari Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton decided to test out their chemistry a little bit early. Leclerc's front wing took a hit, his pace somewhat steady, and both of them spent the next several laps just trying to pretend like this didn't happen. As Charles would say,
nothing, just an incident.
Meanwhile, Fernando Alonso's brakes overheated by lap 5, and poor Gabriel Bortoleto. He spun into the gravel, but somehow managed to get that Sauber back on track, without any hopes of getting a points finish. After that, it was pretty smooth sailing to the mid-race. McLaren said, let's run this, and that's exactly what they did. Piastri and Norris built a lovely lead out front, sipping virtual tea while the rest of the grid played catch-up. George Russell was the only driver that could really keep those two McLarens in his sights, holding P3 like a man on a mission, but not enough pace to keep up with the two McLarens. Now, what about Mad Max Verstappen? Pretty quiet day at the office. No fireworks, no magic, just a solid P4 and a checklist of what could have been moments. Now, moving on to strategies, the one-stop game plan was the absolute key to winning this race. And who executed that perfectly? McLaren, like a chef's kiss, just absolutely flawless. Other teams tried to undercut and overcut, didn't really work to try to keep up with the two McLarens. Now, there was some late race drama with Lando Norris. Just when it seemed like McLaren could be riding off into the sunset, Lando Norris reported that his brake pedal was going long. Now, normally when someone says they're having brake problems in Shanghai, the car's in the wall like 30 seconds later. But Lando, luckily, nursed that thing home and kept it cool, and helped McLaren secure their 50th 1-2 finish in history. Cue the papaya party. And now, probably for one of the most exciting parts of the race, the post-race chaos and Ferrari. Also throw in Pierre Gasly as well. Let's break down the disqualification drama. Lewis Hamilton disqualified for excessive skid block wear. Basically, the plank on the bottom of the car got sanded down like a nail salon special, and that's a big no-no. Now let's move on to Charles Leclerc and Pierre Gasly, both disqualified for being underweight. This was the first time in history that both Ferraris were disqualified from the same race. That's not the history that you want to make, but I guess we're in the history books now. I don't know what else to say. So here's how the top 10 looked after the disqualification. In first, Oscar Piastri. Second, Lando Norris. Third, George Russell. Fourth, Max Verstappen. Now this is where the fun starts. In fifth, Esteban Ocon, and you know who he drives for? Haas. In 6th, Kimi Antonelli. This dude has something going on there with Mercedes. In 7th, Alex Albon. In Williams, yes, Alex Albon. In 8th, another Haas, Ollie Behrman. Where in the world is this Haas speed coming from? But they managed it in Shanghai. In 9th, Lance Stroll. And getting his first points in a Williams, Carlos Sainz. Yeah, you heard me right. Both Haas and both Williams had both cars in the top 10. Double points day, I'm ecstatic for both teams. Now looking at the Drivers' Championship, Norris leads with 44 points. Right behind him is Max Verstappen with 36. In third is George Russell with 35. And Oscar Piastri sneaks into P4 with 34 points. And when it comes to the Constructors' Championship, McLaren is leading with 74 points, with Mercedes in second with 57 points, Red Bull in third with 36 points, and tied for fourth, Ferrari and Williams with 17 points. And looking ahead, we have the Japanese Grand Prix taking place not this weekend, but 2 weekends from now. So I'll be giving my preview of the Japanese Grand Prix a week from today on March 31st. But before we end the video, I have to give out my award every week. The Happy Hour Racing Happiest of Them All Award. This award I give to the driver who I think is going to be the happiest, or the team, or the constructor who's happiest after each race weekend. And this weekend, it most definitely has to be Oscar Piastri. He did what I personally wanted to see him do for McLaren, which was beat Lando Norris on pace. And he most definitely did that. So hats off to you, Oscar. And speaking of hats and apparel, go check out Happy Hour Racing for all your Formula One and motorsport apparel needs. They have a great selection to choose from, and their selection is, let's just say in Max's terms. So there you have it, the 2025 Chinese Grand Prix. A race built on strategy, no cautions, and pace. And the rare sight of both Ferraris taking 2 major L's. So what did you think of the race? Were the disqualifications fair? Can McLaren keep this form up? And is Ferrari okay? Emotionally, I mean. And honestly, I wanted to get through this video without crying, and I did, so yay. I guess that's one positive we could take from this weekend as a Ferrari fan. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to hit that like button to subscribe so you don't miss any episodes of Track Limits, as well as everything we have going on here at A2IL Media. And remember, when it comes to F1, Track Limits is the show for you. I'll see you on the next one, same time, same channel, same show, same host. Ciao.